Do you ever feel like everything has already been done better by someone more talented who started like 5 years ago? Someone who has more experience, someone who has like a bigger following, you know? Because I often feel like this, and maybe if you like ever try to start like sort of, well, any form of content creation online. So it could be YouTube, it could be music, anything. So did you ever like start or try to like or like even think about it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna start like doing like this, and then you actually see like sort of like what other people are doing, and you see that like they have such an advance on you because like they've done this thing like for a much longer time, or like they have more talent or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, it's not even worth doing, like I'm just not gonna do this. And then either like you, if you're lucky, you start your project and you stop after some time. If you're like me and you're unlucky, you never even started. So like you just completely give up in the planification phase when you're like making sort of like a roadmap of like what you have to do. If you're like me, you just give up instantly after seeing like all these people, um, and that's not good. And I've felt like that many times, and I still feel like that actually most of the time whenever I look at like any form of content creation online. And maybe you feel like this too, and you are not alone. And yeah, it's kind of weird, like to when you think about it, like how the internet has like changed all of this, because people like before the internet and globalization, like they never really used to think about like, oh, you know, um, oh, I'm like not as good at this guy, you know. Uh, people like just people would exist like sort of in like this like small bubble of, like your town or your city, or like maybe just your general local area, and like you never even really like had to think about like, oh, but this guy on the other side of the country is like much better than me. Like that was like never something that would come up, when you started like doing like, I don't know, music or writing books or whatever. But now we're with the internet, like we are forcefully competing against like everyone everywhere at the same time. So all of the 8 billion, yeah, I think it's 8, yeah, it's 8 billion now. All of the 8 billion humans on this planet are competing with you at any time. Any given time, you have like one chance out of 8 billion to be the best at whatever you're doing. And especially now that we have like, as I said, like globalization and the internet like in its nature, because like now we're connected to everybody. But at the same time, what's even worse is that we have like, especially in like the recent like 5 to 10 years, we have algorithms who like push specific people at the top. And like as I said, it's always bound to be like the people who already have a following, because like they get into a like virtuous cycle of like, oh, people follow me, so the algorithms like show me to more people, so more people follow me, and so on. And so for them it's like a never ending virtuous cycle. But like uh essentially all we see at any given time is like sort of the best people in a certain domain or specific, activity or whatever. So like we only see those people, and we don't see all of the people who might be like, more on our level of doing, stuff. And yeah, even like pretty much any area you look into, like someone is doing what the very thing that you want to do. Someone is doing that, but like they're doing it like so much better than you. And it sort of always feels like a losing race, It's like, they've already started like doing the whole lap, and they're like 10 meters behind the finish line, and you didn't even start running. So like sometimes it kind of feels like discouraging. And at that point you might look like into like niche content, because like you're like, oh well, I might not be able to like perform, sort of like compete at a top level in this general domain, but maybe if I find, my own little like niche, maybe I can like sort of like get my own twist onto like this, and I might be able to, just reach the top in like on a smaller level, but even that is like sort of compromised today, because like people are constantly like, not only like are they working on like the quality of the content they make, but they're also like always pushing, and it's not like a conscious thing, but like sort of people are gonna naturally head towards some niches that, which it makes it bound that at most of the time any idea you get has, just by the sheer number of people making content, any idea that you get probably has been done already by someone else. And so we're back to square one, it's like effectively you've kind of reduced like the scale of at which like you're competing, but like it's like you still haven't really made it, you still face like the very same problems. And so for my part, I find that this kind of leads like to a sort of paralysis, where you want to like do stuff, but like you forcefully, because like that's what our brains do, like we are human beings, so like we're always comparing ourselves to like these people, which are like the only thing that we see because of like circumstances that I have like previously said. So we always compare ourselves to sort of not like our local area, not like our people of our level, or who started like at the same time as us, or we just immediately go to comparing ourselves to like the very 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 top level, so there's sort of like a performance anxiety, where you feel like if you cannot like compete or like get close to like the like top 5%, you shouldn't even do it, and so you eventually never end up creating anything, you never make anything, you never like publish anything. It's just like a perpetual state of perpetual state of like limbo, and just like you're lost. And sometimes you might like make a project or plan to do something, but it never ends up like happening, because sometimes even if you do start like making something, in the process of making it, you might realize like, oh well, I was sort of you're trying to emulate like what like other people might be doing, and so you start your little thing, you do stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, my stuff isn't really as good as like whatever this person made. And so you're sort of like in this state of work in progress, like it's never actually released. You never like have you you never even leave space for yourself to like practice, or do stuff, because you feel like it's not worth it to, work on anything. So you never improve, so you never get closer to the people who you compare yourself to. And it's like it's a never-ending cycle of of doing nothing. And well, what could be the solution to like this thing? Well, I think probably the first step is like to drop our expectations, at least at the beginning. And I'm not saying that like you have to like just put out anything and be happy with what you made, or like, oh yeah, don't be delusional, but like sort of like you have to accept that you're not going to be competing with the top level. And that can be like weird, because like those people set like the sort of like the bar for what's good, what's not good, and but I think you really have to like set your own expectations for yourself, and compare yourself to you, but previously, or compare yourself to people who are in similar circumstances to you, and not people who have more experience or who are far ahead. But you have to compare yourself to, someone similar to you in level or in background or whatever. And everything that you make and you put out, or you publish, or that you finish, I guess that's already a step ahead, because you have made something, so you've gotten like through the whole process, of producing something, planning, producing, working on it. And in that process, that's like a valuable experience in itself, more than the actual final product, if that makes sense. You get to like actually practice and work on what you really want to do, So I think that's a good thing. And then eventually you can move on to like comparing yourself to stuff that you made, but like 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, 6 months ago, and see like, oh, I've made that amount of progress on this. Maybe I have to work a bit on this one, And I think that that's a much healthier alternative to like comparing yourself to people who are on stratospheric levels compared to you. And yeah, we have to just remind ourselves that we're not competing with everyone, despite what, social media might make it out to be. People are always going to be better than you. I mean, everyone has someone that's better than them. Maybe not in general, but like in a specific thing, And yeah, we just have to accept that we have to evolve on our own little level, and not jump immediately um, to the big levels, And that's actually why I made this channel. I really need like something to I need a sort of like a channel where I can just like do stuff, and I don't have to really like care if it's gonna be good, if it's not gonna be. Obviously, if it's good, it's better. But like, it's kind of a not low effort channel, but I'd say it's a low expectations channel. That's why I called it a dump channel, because I'm gonna be just dumping content over here and see how stuff goes. But yeah, there's gonna be quite a bit of like journaling or just me recording myself speaking it, thinking out loud, just to see, what comes of it. But and I actually kind of like these type of videos, where someone will just speak and you can like sort of play it in the background, but when you're doing the dishes, it's quite useful. But yeah, and I also really need to work on my English, because like, as you can tell, I'm not a native English speaker. So and I don't really get like the opportunity to speak English very often out loud. So this might be like a good combination of things, for me to just like do stuff. I can speak English. I don't really need like deep content. I can just do stuff like practice whatever I have to practice. If I need to practice editing, script writing, anything. And yeah, so my my little move against sort of this like paralysis phenomenon is this channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. If anyone watches this, thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.